Well, good morning everybody. This is day one of the Iberian Masters. We're here for the draw. They've already done the draw for the match fishing side of the competition, which is float fishing. So it's just about 8:30, and this is where they're going to be doing the draw for the feeder side of the competition. They're going to basically draw a number out at random, and that is going to be the number of that competitor. That is where they're going to start the draw from. So I'm number 13. So hopefully they're going to draw a number near to that but lower, so that I don't have to sit here too long.
Also, we also want to remind you that for section A, B and C, we will need you to leave the cars by the river, so you protect yourself from the bikes and the cars, please. And also, you can put all your stuff downstairs next to the wall, but you cannot start preparing anything until 10. And you can also prepare your ground baits, but no seed box, nothing else. Just leave it all next to the wall, please. And last thing, we'll pick a random number with this app to start the drawing from that number. Number 102.
Yay!
C14. Jamie Harrison. C11.
Ooh. Well, that actual peg doesn't mean a hell of a lot to me, I'll be absolutely honest with you, except yesterday I was on C2, so that is the peg, or that is the area where they did catch some carp there, particularly late on. In fact, I think most of the fish were caught late on, so there were some carp there yesterday. So obviously that tells me that yesterday it was all right. So it's C11, a little bit further down to the right from where I was yesterday. Now I'm currently in, that's the bar, that, as you can imagine, plenty of people have seen that this trip. And this is the main reception. This is where, the main area, this is where the results will be tonight. Usually these boards behind me, well, they're taking them down. Two of the lads are off to the pegs there. But the boards here, which will be up later on, they will have the results on later on. They will also be online as well on the Iberian Masters Facebook page. But this is where they post them up later on tonight. So I've literally got about an hour now until I can actually start setting up at the peg. It's only a 20-minute drive, so just going to have a coffee with Dad and have a nice leisurely drive up to the venue. Go and get parked up behind the peg, and then get my gear down, just nice and ready. Ready for us for 10 o'clock, because 10 o'clock is when you're allowed to go, basically start setting up on your peg. Then we can start fishing from 12, so I'll see you up at the peg. Well, good morning everybody. This is day one of the Iberian Masters. Thank you for checking this upload out on the Fishing Live channel. I did do a Facebook Live this morning, obviously on Facebook on the Catch Fishing channel, so thanks to everybody that watched that. It's now 30 minutes before the start of day one. We're here in Spain. I know lots of you have been following this competition, and this year, you know, I'm not able to put a full feature-length film together of this trip. However, I will be doing daily uploads like this for you right here on this channel. Okay, so as you can see, the sun is shining. It's very windy as well, so that's why I've just come behind this long grass that'll hold the wind off. So it's 30 minutes before pre-baiting. So just to summarise it in a few seconds for you, at 10 to 12 we have a 10-minute pre-baiting period. You can't fish through that sector, that part of the session. That's just for feeding if you want to feed. Okay, so you've got 10 minutes to pre-bait your swim, then at 12 o'clock we start fishing. We fish right the way through until 5 o'clock. However, at 5 to 5 there will be a signal that will sound, which tells everybody that there's 5 minutes left. The reason for that is basically because at 5 o'clock exactly, any fish that you've hooked or in the landing net needs to be out of the water. If the fish, even if you've hooked it or still got it on and still playing it, if at 5 o'clock when the match finishes you haven't got that fish out of the water, the fish doesn't count. End of. Even if it's in your landing net. Even if it's in your landing net, if your landing net is still in the water, it won't count. The net needs to be clear of the water for that fish to count. So you get 5-minute warning, just to let everyone know. I know lots of you know that rule anyway. So you can see it's very, very sunny. The wind it's slightly off my bike, but it's coming slightly, well, down there you'll see when I go down to the peg in a minute, it's left to right-ish, but I'm expecting that to change. It's quite warm, I've got to admit. That breeze is keeping the temperature down a little bit, so I know it's contrasting weather to how it is back home in England right now. I know they've had lots of snow, So I'm going to take you down to the peg. This is going to be just a summary of day one for you. So I'm just going to show you my thoughts and things for this particular peg, and then later on after the match I will be giving you a match download in this video towards the end of the video, and then right at the end I will be showing you the results as well, just to let you know how I've gone on, but also to let you know how everyone else has gone on, because I will be showing you the full breakdown of the full 115 anglers who are competing in this feeder event. Okay, so let me take you down to the peg out of this wind, just so I can show you some of the kit. So the peg that I've drawn is C11, so obviously this is C section, and going right the way up there is C1. I actually fished on C2 yesterday, which was the final day of practice. If you want to see how that went, then the previous video to this one, underneath this video right here on this channel, there is a video of that for you. So I actually fished C2. Today I've actually drawn C11, and that is this peg here. You can probably just see the edge of the blue casting mat just there. Ken's there just having a chat with Dad. Dad's enjoying the sunshine. So that's my peg, C11. There I am. So let me take you down to the peg. The steps are only one peg away, so let me just take you down here just to give you a full experience of what it's like. We're down the steps here. There we go. And then we're down out of the wind a little bit down here, which means the sun's on us even more. So here we go. Now some of the bits of kit that I've got are slightly different from back home, and I'll explain the reason for that in a minute. The main one being I haven't got a roost. Normally, obviously, I would have the 24 slot matrix roost. I would be using that. I wish I'd got that. The reason why I haven't is because we've travelled over here with 10 lots of tattle in one van, so space was really limited. And obviously, you know, I'd rather take all the rods that I need and all the essentials. When I knew on here, it's, you know, it's finely cut grass. I know that you can lay your rods on there without damaging. I just know that from previous experience. So, just obviously, because of the room restrictions, that's why I haven't got the roost. So it's all about carp and Carasio. We're expecting it to fish hard. I honestly believe that this section here, I think most sections, or most pegs in most sections, I think 5 fish is going to be mega. I really do. However, you're going to need some luck with that. You know, I'll be absolutely honest, and this is on my own opinion, and that is that if you're going to get 5 fish, firstly you need to land those fish. I've seen as many fish lost this week as I have seen hooked. And some people have lost every fish that they've hooked in a session, you know, and that's what this venue is like. So you're going to need a little bit of luck, because there are lots of snags out there, and as you can see behind me, you don't know where they are. You know, obviously over at that far bank there are overhanging roots, trees, there's all sorts, but even when you come away there are snags in the open water, and we don't know where they are. So you're going to need a little bit of luck there. And then the other little bit of luck you're going to need is you've got to hope that those 5 fish, if you're going to get 5 fish or more, they need to be the right stamp. I don't honestly think that 5 Carasio, which average about a pound, or you know, half a kilo, they're going to be 5 of those is not going to be enough to get good points, you know. So you're going to hopefully think that, or want some of those fish, if not all of them, to be carp. And some of those carp have gone into double figures. You know, the average I've seen has been about 2 kilo, 4 poundish. So you know, even when you get your bite, you've got to hope that it's the right species. So kit wise, I've basically got, as you can see, an array of rods there, but they are all the same except one. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rods there. Now 5 of the rods are the Horizon Pro. The Horizon Pro, that one is the X class, so that's the odd one out. When I said there's one that isn't, that's an X class. Okay, it's a 3.8 metre, which is 12'6", so that is for the short line. Now every other rod, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the other 5 rods are Horizon Pro distance. Okay, and I'll be absolutely honest, if I'd got another one of those, I would have used that one for that job, but that's really just a backup rod. Okay, so they are all the same. I've got XR reels on them all. I'm only showing you this once for the next 3 days. They are the X3 3000s, and I've got a couple of 3500s on there as well. The reason why I've got 6 set up, and that's because there are so many snags and things out there. Fish can break you. They are basically duplicates. So I've really just got 6 rods there, but it's 2 to cover each line, or each area that I expect to be targeting. Simple as that. So it's all about carp. We've got some sticky mag mixed up already. I've got some ground bait, I've got some corn, I've got some hemp, I've got some worms, and you know, I honestly think we're fishing for 5 bites. I fished up on C2 yesterday. I ended up with 5 fish in slightly different conditions, and you know, obviously that wasn't a match situation, but there were 1 or 2 carp caught down here. Not loads, but there were 1 or 2 caught, and that's really it. I don't really know what to expect. I'm going to be targeting that far bank. I've got another line slightly further back, and I've got a short line as well, you know. So I can't really say much more than that because it is going to be a bit of an unknown. I can honestly say that I haven't worked anything out in practice. I'd love to say I have, even if it was only one thing, but I haven't. Not one thing I've found that's triggered a bite or anything like that. So I'm going to be basically ducking and diving all day. It's going to be one of those days where you just try something. If it doesn't work, you try something else, see what that's like, try it in a slightly different way, just rotating lines, all the things that we do. There's nothing. I can honestly say there's nothing that I've really learned. So I'm just going to be seeing what happens around me more than anything. I've got the Italian stallion there who lives here, so I'll obviously be able to see what he's doing. But I'm not expecting loads and loads of fish. So it's a points competition. To let you know, this is one section of 23 anglers. So peg 1 is right the way up there. I'm C11, and that runs right the way down to C23, which is in between those two bridges. There isn't a gap there like there has been in previous years. So that's it. I'm just going to make sure my bait's done, get my hook length ready, and I'll see you in 5 hours, where I'm hoping I'm going to be reporting a little bit of action. Catch some fish. Okay? It's not very heavy. It's a big net for a little fish. That was hard work. Yeah, hard work.
569.
Wow, fat one. Thank you. Are we putting them back in the nets?
We're throwing them after. Yeah.
Straight back?
Yes.
Not going in.
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Conforme.
Gracias. Thank you. Well, we expected it being hard, but I'll be absolutely honest with you, I had no idea it was going to be as hard as that. I'm incredibly disappointed, to be fair, not only with my result or what I've caught or haven't caught, but just for how bad it's fished. I don't think anybody expected it fishing as hard as what it has. I will be showing you the results a little bit later on. They're still weighing in, as you can see. So it's going to take them a while to weigh everybody in and obviously get back and do all the results and everything. I think there's been some blanks. I saw a 20 gram on there. I think there was a 30 gram. I'll talk you through quickly what's actually happened, but basically I've ended up with just over 500, I think it was 560 grams. And I'm a bit shocked, to be fair, but let me just quickly tell you what's happened. So I've got most of my kits put away now, but basically, to cut a long story short, I've had one bite, and that is, well, yeah, one proper bite, that's all I can say. It's just been one of those matches. The angler, 3 anglers down is Richard Smith. I know he literally got one bleak with about 2 hours to go. I don't know if he's ended up catching any, I don't know. The next lad here, he got a carp very first cast, and I think that's the only bite he's had. That's it, done. At the halfway stage, this lad here, he's had one bite, and his was a carp. It was a good carp. It was good, probably 2.5 kilos. That's the only bite he's had. Get to me here, I've had one bite. However, mine wasn't a carp. Mine was a carasio, and the carasio has weighed 560 grams. It was very, very welcome. It was very late on, literally the last hour. I have also had 3 bleak as well, but they were accidents. So I didn't fish for those. They were just accidents. Next peg has been the Italian. That's the Italian who lives here, knows the venue as well as anybody. He's literally not had a bite up until halfway through. He's not even had an indication. And then I noticed when he was setting up this morning, he'd got a bleak rod set up. So he's fished a very short rod and he's fished for bleak for 2 hours. Tiny, tiny bleak. And I've gone and caught my carasio and he's seen that. So he's put the bleak rig down and he's cast his feeder across. As you can see, he has got some cover over there. And he's gone across with the feeder straight away and immediately he's got a Carasio about the same size as mine, and then that's it. He's not had another bite. So I don't know exactly what he's weighed because I've obviously been talking, but he will have similar to me, probably slightly more because he's got a few of those tiny little bleak to go with his one Carasio. And then going further down there, basically it's been very, very hard all the way down, with the exception initially to Ken. Tomorrow, mañana, was Ken, well, the English lads in the white shirt there. He got off to a fantastic start. He got something like 5 fish in the first hour and a half when no one else had even had a bite. Brilliant start. Now I don't know if he's carried on catching, we'll obviously find out from the results, but I hope he has. But ironically, that's the peg that he practiced on a couple of days ago, and he really struggled. He only managed to catch 1 fish off it, but he's had at least 5 off it today, and like I say, that was in the first 2 hours. So possibly it may have fished better just there, but then we've heard as it gets towards the bridge it's rock hard again. So, you know, whatever points I've got today, I'm pretty much definitely out of it right at the start for potentially winning the competition. I have heard that there have been blanks elsewhere. What we have heard is it's fished hard all the way through this section, all the way through down here, where literally people have just been after one bite. If it turns out to be a carp, then that's a bonus. If it's a Carasio, fair enough. It could even be a bleak, and that's really what it's been like all the way up here. So you get to the top on the bend. We've heard the bend where you go around to B section. We've heard that has fished quite a lot better, but then we've heard it gets hard again further up round the bend, going up towards A section. But like I say, I haven't seen the results yet, so I'm going to get the rest of my gear packed away. It's going to take me a couple of hours to kind of process what's happened today. It's just literally, if anybody said to you you're going to fish here with maggots, sticky mag and all that sort of stuff, corn, for 5 hours and literally get 1 bite, having caught fish over the last 2 days doing exactly the same sort of thing but better in theory, you'd think, well, you won't believe it really, but that's, you know, whatever the reason is, we'll never know. It's fishing, but it looks like it's completely switched off. So what I'm going to do is get my gear packed away. I just want to say thank you to everybody for the great wishes so far, all those that joined me on the live stream this morning on Facebook. I will be doing another one tomorrow morning, so I'm going to head back to the hotel now. I've got a few hook lengths to tie, have a nice shower and just get some hot food, and then what I'll do as soon as the results are posted, it's usually around about 8 o'clock I think, I will do a quick video on that for you and upload it right here to this Fishing Life channel. So whatever happens, whether I'm in the mix or not, there are going to be plenty of twists and turns in this competition, and I'm going to be showing you how everyone else is getting on, and just how, obviously how the event's going over the next 3 days or the next 2 days. So please hit subscribe for this channel and give this one a thumbs up to let me know that you want to see more videos like this. So I'm heading back to the hotel to relax a little bit and just kind of try and wash off today and get ready for tomorrow.